Okay, welcome to Cherie's weight loss journey. I'm presently off the liquid protein diet. Had to definitely wrestle with the flesh this morning because the flesh was like, oh, you deserve a reward, right? Oh, you don't have to exercise. Oh, that cold front that came in and it's now in the 60s, relax. You've already achieved what you wanted to. And it's like, what? No, I haven't achieved what I wanted. So anyway, I'm out here getting my walk on. Me and Snoopy. Snoopy, are you ready? Snoopy. Snoopy. Hey, girl. Do you hear me? Yeah. Wow. She totally distracted. I don't know what that's about, but we don't care, right? Gotta keep it moving. So, yeah, risky morning. Had to put on a jacket and long sleeves. It feels good, but the thing of it is it's a different mindset, okay? The mindset is different. So, yeah. Girl, you better come on. Something that I hadn't seen on the sidewalk lately was a worm on the sidewalk. Yep. So I ended up spending all last night thinking about how I was going to begin my actual eating habits. I got the jump start that I needed, right? Which is to get on a diet and actually see some results. I did get to see some results. I went from looking 9 months pregnant to looking about 4 months pregnant at one point. Right now, I could say I'm about 5 months, right? Especially when I relax my stomach. One of the things that would be really nice is to have a nice waistline even when poking out your stomach, right? It's like, oh yeah, it's easy to look like, you got it going on when you pull in your stomach, right? And maybe, come around, and maybe it may even seem like it's cool because, you learn how to walk, holding your stomach in, okay? But it would be nice to be able to poke out your stomach and still have the waistline that you want, right? So, that would be something nice to have. Outfit of the day. So, one of the things that I know that I am going to make is I'm going to make some banana muffins, right? I'm going to add protein and fiber to the muffins, beyond what's in a normal banana muffin recipe, right? Gotta alter it to my needs. So that I utilize those bananas that I took from work yesterday or the day before yesterday. Yeah, the day before yesterday. So that's on the plan, right? Baking some banana muffins, right? Because here's the thing. Last night, while I was wondering about what I was going to eat, right? My mind kept searching, like, it's not like I felt like, I could just go down the street and get something healthy, right? You can go this way and that way, and yes, there's donut shops. No, we don't want donuts. The one good thing about donuts, well, the one, maybe only good thing about donuts is that it's baked fresh daily, right? We know when we come across a donut that's not fresh, right? Come on. And we don't like it, right? We may feel like we have to nuke it or something. Dunk it in some coffee. Okay? Usually, the McDonald's breakfasts, Jack in the Box. I haven't ate the Wendy's breakfast, but I know those two breakfasts are usually, made with frozen foods, such as, a frozen egg patty and meat or sausage patties that are frozen. I even want to say that the bacon is pre-cooked and fast freeze to, expedite the packaging process so that you get your meals at lightning speed. One of the other things that I have done um, in the last year is I haven't eaten any microwave food. So even the leftovers that I would eat, I warmed it up the conventional way, either through the oven or by, you know, pan reheat. And I didn't really think it was a big deal, which is why, I haven't been tracking it. But a part of me, you know, is telling me that yeah, that's a really big deal, right? Because let's face it, you know, if we're nuking, nutrients right out of our food and thinking that yeah, we're consuming, nutrients, huh? Does that make sense? Right? Even boiled water, okay? There's a difference in the boiling of water. So many times in the past when I would boil water, it was evident that there's minerals, right? Because it's like, how in the heck can you burn water? Well, you're not really burning the water, and if you have an expensive or a stainless steel pan, you're burning the minerals that are in the water. And I can't even tell you how many times I had microwaved water, right? So I microwaved the water, and then I go to put in whatever it was that I was going to put in the water, okay? And, and I would get like an instant, chemical reaction. And I'm like, what? What is this? Right? I can't even tell you how that disturbing that was, right? Because I had to make a note to self, give the microwave water at least a minute or two to calm down, right? Because the microwave is all about agitating the cells, right? Yeah. It's all about agitating those cells to make it hot. So you got to give those cells a chance to settle down after being nuked. Okay? Yeah. So I have not been using the microwave in my home for over a year. Now, there has been a handful of times during that year that I have used the microwave at work. Right? And, there was a few times, when I was standing maybe inside of the fast food restaurant and actually seeing that they have microwaves in the fast food restaurant. And I was like, right? Okay. When, of course, the thought should have been, well, why are you going out to eat microwave food? Why? You could have did that yourself if that's what you wanted, right? So, yeah, we had to cut back on that, especially, because the price that you pay for one breakfast sandwich, you could have your own stack of frozen sausage and frozen cooked eggs. And heck, your own choice of fresh muffins, right? The last time I went and got a breakfast sandwich, I think I paid like almost $4. So you could do the math. You can do the math. So I think one of the things that I'm going to have to start doing is not only weighing my food out, but also vacuum seal some meals, right? So that, I could drop it inside some boiling water and just open it up after it's warmed up. Okay? That way, I put my own healthier, more economic spin on what I'm going to eat when I feel like I'm in a fix that I don't want to cook or... Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! You just knock it off right now. I have a vacuum. Stop it! I have a vacuum sealer that's been sitting around unused. I even have the baggies to go with it sitting around unused. Okay? So, is that a part of, self-neglect? Or laziness? Right? Anyway, stop it! My dog is acting like she's on some kind of weird hunt, right? And I'm like, girl, you are on a fucking leash. You can't go anywhere without first dropping me, okay? And dropping me is going to be your worst mistake. Right? Gonna make me fall down in the street? Girl, you're gonna make me feel like you're just out of control. Or have me call up Sharika, have her come get you. She don't care if she's choking. And maybe she's saying, well, you're walking too slow, right? But then when I start walking fast, she wanna stop and read her P-mail. Like, what the hell? You better learn to cooperate with me. Right? Make me think like I have to cut back down on her food or something. She start thinking she's like mighty dog. But she is strong. She has made a comeback. So that's going to be a part of the simulation, right? Because, I did do the aluminum foil storage stuff, and I just didn't like it. Things didn't really seem quite airtight or fresh, and I always worried about the consumption of the aluminum. Okay? Now, that's going to be incorporated in the simulation plan, to have, 2 or 3 days of, boil a bag meals. That I will hopefully, weigh out according to my protein consumption plan, right? Which is, to consume at least 60 to 90 grams of protein a day. $25 carbs and 25 fiber. Okay? Now, I know there's a part of me that's really reluctant to do that. It's like, oh, this is so a scientific and problematic, why can't you just, estimate, right? And so now I can't just estimate because I got a head start on my diet, and I have a pretty good knowledge about nutrition. You have these fools out here who think it's funny to say, oh, let me see if I can scare her back onto the curb, right? I got my dog with me. And it was like watching her, like, oh, I meant to scare that woman, not hit the dog, right? So, yeah, people are wicked. So that's gonna be, a routine that I know is gonna be difficult for me to implement, but I'm going to force that stubborn inner child to do it anyway, right? Because I know if I don't do it, I'm gonna end up doing like what most people do. They're going to go to the store and they're going to buy pre-packaged, breakfast sandwiches, and call it a day. Here's one of the things that I wanted to bring up. Yes, I was watching, my protein intake. I was getting plenty of vitamins and minerals. Okay? But one of the things I had noticed on the protein shake, nutritional label was there was 250 milligrams of sodium in it, right? And I'm like, oh, wow. I didn't know they put sodium in the protein drinks. I wasn't even looking for it. Okay? But there it was. So, of course, I had to do the math in my head. And it's like, oh my gosh, you had, 3 protein shakes. So, you just consumed almost 800 milligrams of sodium. Okay? So that took me back to some of the things that I was watching on my 600-pound life, right? Where the people did not like the food because hospital food didn't cook with salt. So I'm like, oh yeah, eating bland food is not worth eating. Okay? It's just not. Is it? No salt, no sugar, bland. It's just like eating goo. Okay? So, gotta pay more attention to my sodium intake because, we're concerned about our high blood pressure. Very concerned, right? Our ticker is a little old. It's not resilient, as if I was a young tenderoni. And, yeah. And here are some of the things that, I was paying attention to also on the weight loss journey was congestive heart failure, right? Wow, that sounds serious. Well, it is serious, right? This is where the body fluid backs up, back, right? Back it up. It backs up into your chest cavity and causes issues to your heart. Stop it. Okay? Right? Causing your heart to float and not be able to do its job. Like floating in water. Have you ever been in water and it's just like, oh yeah, you can float, but that's not the problem. The problem is mobility or getting active or, having control over your movements. Okay? So that's how my mind, gave me the image of what congestive heart failure is. And I'm like, okay, awesome. Once I get, an image. Hey, get your ass back over there. My dog will, stop it. See, this is what I mean, right? You have these people that will let their dog outside, right? Without a leash, without supervision, and, figure it's gonna be okay, right? That they're gonna run up on a pit bull female with an attitude and she ain't gonna defend herself, because she will. Okay? Get back. Shoo. Go. Go home. Go home. I mean, this dog wasn't like disrespectful, right? This dog came up on, my dog like, oh, you're kind of cute, who are you? Right? But I've seen it all before, right? Coming up on my dog like, yeah, I come in peace, right? And the next thing you know, they done set off my girl and I don't even speak dog language, but that's how it comes across in my head, And interesting enough, my dog doesn't really get approached or has these, but doesn't get approached by female dogs. Now, if we come across a property that has a female dog, the female dog is, confrontational, right? Get away from my property, get away from the people I love, yappy. Okay? Not that I speak dog language, but, when I see it happening, it's like my mind shifts into some type of animation, right? And there's another person, right, that whipped around the corner and seen me and had to scratch her head like, oh my gosh, you know, I was just absent-mindedly driving, right? But of course, this was obviously a person of conscience, right? Driving around in a red Lexus SUV. She had to have some kind of consciousness, right? Okay. My leg is bothering me a little bit today. I do, a lot of pivoting when I'm at work. So I do attribute some of my pain to the pivoting that I do for long hours while at work. Right? Oh, and guess what? My feet has shrunk a little bit. Okay? My feet are shrinking enough where I can put insoles in my shoes and it not be overwhelmingly tight. And they feel so much better. So lymphedema, right, can be so subtle, right? A lot of times we don't even know, where this oil, fat fluid is leaking in our bodies, right? All we know is, I can't take my ring off my finger anymore. My shoes are uncomfortable. And, sure, we might size up, right? Reluctantly. Who in their right mind wants, an inch of shoe, larger than their actual foot? Half an inch ain't bad. But an inch or inch and a half, yeah. And we're gaining weight and we start waddling like a duck. Nobody likes that at all. But what is the alternative? To stay home, to become immobile, to burn less calories, it's a downward spiral. I promise you. And that was what I was thinking about when I was laying there. I was like, okay, so you got the jump start that you wanted. Why? Why do you think that it's okay to slide backwards? Right? It's like, guess what your reward is? You get to do only one set of lightweight exercises Okay. And you get to take your time on your walk. But you're going to walk. You can take your time. And I am taking my time. Oh my gosh, Snoopy has been pulling me like, you are going too slow. And I'm like, hey, this is my cheat day, right? I get to frolic during my walk. All right? This is the walk of leisure, right? This is the walk of victory, right? And stop ruining my walk of victory. I said, look at those beautiful concourses. Very big, very muscular. Just awesome dogs. Oh my. My. I don't know if you can see them, but, I am definitely, a fan. There they are. See how beautiful they are? Just beautiful dogs. Okay? I'm a big fan of big and beautiful, right? And I guess that was one of the things that probably drew me here to Texas, right? Everything's big in Texas. Okay? And so I was like, oh yeah, I'll fit right on in. Hi y'all. Okay. So, yeah. But, as I, stayed here long enough, it seemed to change where, the only thing really that was big was, the space was big. The boundaries are big, right? The men are big and hefty, but not so much the women. The women, they were short. I mean, some of them, they were under 5 feet tall, right? And I promise you, they had to be under 100 pounds. So they're under 5 feet tall, 100 pounds. And I'm like, how did these women give birth to these hefty men, right? So of course, I've been alive for, 63 years. And I'm observing, right? And I guess, these women shrink themselves in compliance to, I guess, the men in their life, right? Yeah. So that was an interesting observation for me. And mind you, when I say interesting, that's not like, oh, I'm so excited. This is great. No. Interesting. Interesting. Okay? Because one of the things that I've noticed about a lot of, these Texans that I've seen in partnership, the man would be, huge, humongous. And the woman, like I said, would be small and petite, right? And I used to play it off in my mind that, a lot of times petite women, feel that they're just more desirable. But my mind says, yeah, you're probably preferred because you take up less space on the bed. You could be fed probably off of $2 to $4 a day, right? While the men, they typically are eating, $10 to $20 a day worth of food. Okay? And then, they've convinced you, there's no reason for you to buy all these clothes. Where are you going? You're not going nowhere. Right? Because if you go anywhere, he wants to be able to protect you. And since he's not there, you can't go. And that sounds so effing romantic, right? He wants to be wherever you are so he can protect you, right? So then I started clocking, just how many times, these women, are accompanied by their man. And it's not much, right? Not much. So, I don't know if these men agree upon it to where it's like, hey, stay out of the church house, right? You don't want us to come and shoot up the church house because, you didn't make the church house a meat market while I don't show up. And it's like, wow, okay. Because that was another question that I had asked myself, right? Especially in terms of when the men say, they want to be the spiritual leader, okay? I'm like, how are you the spiritual leader and you only went to church when you were a child at best and your mother forced you to go? Then, as you got older, you tapered off to barely going even on, religious holidays, right? And, right now, I see so many men, claim that they're Islams, right? But you can best believe they're not praying 5 times a day. And you can best believe they did not honor Ramadan, right? They have Ramadan once a year where they do intermittent fasting from sunrise to sunset for a whole week. Okay? I really don't believe they're doing it. Because if they were doing it, you can best believe they would be grandstanding that action. Because, they're clout chasers. Everything they do, you know, they want some type of cookie, some kind of reward for every single thing they do. Right? And that's cool. Because, in the back of my mind, I'm like, wow, it would be so nice to be rewarded for every little thing I do. It sure would. Why? But of course, they probably call me a dummy. You a dummy. You got all them rewards, and then you turn around and then you start sharing your rewards. Yeah, that would probably be me. Right? Because it's not that serious in my book. Let me check my mail. Got mail here. So I'm finished with my walk. Thank you for joining me on Cherie's weight loss journey. And listening to some of my thoughts. Okay? Bye.